These are the Antediluvian tales. They are stories of my travels through Tartaria, Amexem, and other antediluvian civilizations. I was privileged to inhabit, explore, and visit various cultures and societies like this. So these are tales of my experience. They are not doctrines of fact. So enjoy these truths with an intuitive grain of salt. Thank you for joining me on this enchanting journey into a world we all once knew. To get more videos like this, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow me on the links that are provided in the description. A lot of unexpected things are going to come up here, and what I share in these videos, like I've said in the intro, is not something to be taken literally. I did have these experiences. I did go to these places. I did interact with these individuals, these entities, beings, people, whatever you want to call them. But if you take my experience to be the rule for your experience, well, then you've lost the game, and you're no longer in the search for wisdom and truth. You're now in the religious struggle for following someone else. So I really discourage any following and that sort of a thing. So anyway, let's get right into it. So what is the pre-cataclysmic world? First and foremost, it's a world that worked. The reason it worked is because the humans that were engaged and are engaged in these worlds are actually civilized. So a lot of people say, well, we're civilized. You know, we have writing, we have technology, we have codes of law, we have all the things that make up civilization. Well, I hate to break it to you, but the world in which we live, the world in which we are currently embedded, is not civilized. It's just beyond the range of savagery and barbarism. But that's not enough to be civilized. Civilized societies were based on 4 foundational principles. They were beauty with harmony, cosmic law and order, prosperity through pleasure, and transcendent self-awareness. Those were the 4 foundations of a civilized society. All of their laws, which they really didn't have. They didn't have any laws, but we'll get into that in another video. All of their social customs, their norms, their technology, their buildings, their social structures, everything, how they dealt with the natural environment, how they dealt with city environments, everything was based on these 4 principles. Humanity hasn't returned to their civilized status yet. It's a process, and we're getting there. And this series of videos is actually a part of that process. So examples of pre-cataclysmic worlds and realms include the Zep-Tepi, if you're familiar with that. That's an ancient Cometian legend, according to mainstream history, about a golden age, a time in which the gods walked the earth. And there's a tale of Atlantis, which also came from Kemt or Egypt. But the Greeks are the ones who brought it to us, Solon through Plato. And then there's Lemuria. Lemuria is a more recent invention by a zoologist who noticed flora and fauna similarities between Africa and Southeastern Asia. So Lemuria is actually the Kumari Kandam. A lot of people think that Lemuria was in the Pacific. It was not. Mu was actually in the Pacific Ocean. Part of New Zealandia, which scientists have recently rediscovered, was associated with Mu. And Mu, like I said, was a Pacific archipelago which came from a continent that kind of fell apart about 70 or 80 millennia ago. Very recently. It was not long ago. And then there's the Great Tartaria, which a lot of people have heard about, which was destroyed by a mud flood. What a lot of people don't know is that the United States is one of the daughters of Great Tartaria. But again, I'll get into this in more detail in other videos. And then there's Old Amexem. Very few people are aware of this one. This is a Mauryan civilization. It was very much involved with Great Tartaria. Morocco was one of its main centers. Our first treaty, the Treaty of Tripoli, was actually signed with Old Amexem by our founding fathers in the United States, signing this treaty with representatives from Morocco. But Old Amexem was in its decline as well as Tartaria as the United States was being formed. The United States is a daughter of Tartaria. The southern Confederate part of the United States was actually the descendant of Old Amexem. A lot of people wouldn't believe that because it was a Confederate state, a Confederate part of the United States. It was practicing slavery, all of that. That's a misunderstanding of history, which again, all these things will be cleared up in future videos. Let me know which one is really most important and interesting to you in the comments below. And there were other civilizations. There's Hyperborea, where Teutonic Nordic people have originated from. So representatives of all these cultures and societies and civilizations, these civilized peoples, have been found all over the world. So anyway, that's kind of what the pre-cataclysmic world entails. So the pre-cataclysmic world, or the Antediluvian world, was a world of exceptional sophistication, and it came to a pretty dramatic end as a result of various cataclysms that happened. Now, what people don't realize is that there were multiple cataclysms, and these multiple cataclysms delineated, the Zeb Tepi from Lemuria, and Lemuria from Atlantis, and Atlantis from Great Tartaria or Amexem. So, and not necessarily in that order. Again, those cultures were able to foresee the cataclysms that were approaching, and they prepared for them by creating the simulation or the world in which we currently are embedded. One of the experiences that I was in, cataclysm is not like, things exploding and, lots of rain, and it's where your entire reality dissolves in front of you, and you know that reality is over. Reality for you has come to an end. For instance, at one time I was given a female incarnational suit, or a body. This was the end of one of the Atlantean periods. You refer to it as Atlantis, but it was the mother culture of Kempt. And I remember we were collecting fruit. And one of the things that distinguished the older world, the pre-cataclysmic Antediluvian world, from this one is that it was exceptionally abundant. I mean, this world is abundant in which we live, but I mean, the fruits and the vegetables were just beautiful, exceptional, massive. I mean, grapes literally the size of grapefruits. We were collecting these foods, these fruits, and various herbs or vegetables, and we were wearing these beautiful white garments. They were something like what you would see in ancient Greece, these tunics. And we looked into the distance toward the horizon because we heard a crack. I mean, the crack was really unusual and loud. And then as I was looking into the distance, I could see the horizon rising. Imagine looking off into the distance and seeing that horizon going up toward the sky. That's what we witnessed. And it was confusing first, because the ground isn't supposed to do that. We've never seen the mountains start immediately going up toward the clouds. And then we could see the entire horizon fold up into the sky and over. And that's when everything became chaotic, and very quickly everything was over. And I came back here. And so the lives that I lived there, or the visitations, the travels that I got to do, were sometimes scary. I experienced death a lot because I was often embedded in those realities at the end, because I wanted to observe how those things came to an end. So this video has gotten plenty long enough. I'm trying to keep these as short as possible because I do have a lot of things to do. In the next video, I will cover how I was able to take those travels. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure that you subscribe, follow, like, comment, share. I will be posting that next video soon, hopefully within the next couple of days. And I'll go into the technology, the societies, and how I was able to travel to those timelines and visit those civilizations. Share the stories with you now, and why. I probably cover like a little bit why I was given permission to talk about this kind of stuff. Yeah, we'll go from there. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. We're beings, and on our path we are seeking wisdom. This path of wisdom requires inner knowing. So remember this as you listen to these fanciful tales of delightfully enchanting worlds. If you want to help me get the word out, I would really appreciate that. I'll be regularly posting new episodes, so make sure you subscribe, share, like, and follow for more content. Also visit my channel's homepage for more episodes. Thank you for watching.